Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. This is BC Plays here, and today we'll be testing out two of my very favourite vehicles in the Crew 2. I'll be putting both of them up against each other and see how well they perform and which one comes out on top. We'll be testing out the Nissan 370Z Z34 and also the Nissan 370Z Nismo, both drift editions of the vehicle. So I'll be testing out both of these vehicles in drift events to see which one is more superior. But before we get into that, make sure you do like and subscribe, as it does help out the channel a lot. But yeah, let's get into it. So firstly, let's start with the Nissan 370Z Z34. We're just going to call it the Z34 for now. So let's get into customization and see what it has to offer, because it has a lot to offer. So you can change the color, the livery, and your vanity items as you wish. Then we get into the visual parts, and we have firstly 28 hoods to choose from, which if you know Nissan in any racing game, there is a lot to choose from when it comes to customization. And I would show you the other customization parts, but if I click R1, it just takes you to this white screen. So we're not going to show you the parts, but we're just going to tell you how many there is. So there is 40 front bumpers. That's insane. That's probably the most we've ever had on a vehicle on this channel. There's 40 front bumpers. Then there's also 2 front fenders that we can actually see. Little wide body, nothing much. 86 rims to choose from as well. Caliper colours, of course. 2 side mirrors. I don't know why it's taking me up there. I really don't. 5 skirts, if you can see them. They probably would look good. 2 rear fenders as well. 14 rear wings to choose from, which is just insane. You can have any wing you want on this vehicle. It's just insane. Or no wing. And you also have 24 rear bumpers to choose from as well, which is very, very nice. But yeah, that's the customization. As you saw, there was a lot of parts to choose from there. Probably some of the most we've seen on a vehicle, and very, very nice to see that as well. Now let's get into the performance parts. We're not going to take off all the parts, because if we take off all the parts, it's going to go to a 125, and you know, no one's using this vehicle as a 125. But with the 240 parts on, let's have a look at the Z34 first. So the top speed with all the 240 parts on it is 167 miles per hour. Horsepower is 899. 0 to 60 in 2.6. Quarter mile in 9.7, and brake distance 60 to 0 is 21.18 yards. Half of that doesn't matter because it's a drift vehicle, so you can just rule out the 0 to 60 and the quarter mile, because, and maybe even the top speed, because it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, decent stats for a vehicle of this class. And before we actually get into anything, let me tell you the price of this vehicle, because I completely forgot. So the price of this vehicle is 187,600 crew bucks, which is very cheap, very, very cheap for a drift vehicle, and also 26,800 crew credits. So you know you're getting a bargain as soon as you even buy this thing. It's very nice, very cheap, and very affordable. Now let's get into our next vehicle of customization, which is the 370Z Nismo, which also looks very, very nice. They both look very nice. Obviously they're both Nissans, so they look pretty similar. But let's get into the customization first and see what the customization is like. So obviously you can change the color and the livery and the vanity items as you wish, but there is only 4 hoods with the Nismo this time. 1 carbon and 3 primary colors. You can't see again. 21 front bumpers to choose from. 82 rims, of course. Caliper colors you can choose as well. Side mirrors, there's 2. 2 skirts to choose from, 4 rear wings, unlike the full, it was 14, was it, of the Z34, and 14 rear bumpers as well. So the customization compared to the Z34 is definitely lacking compared to the Z34, and maybe even compared to some of the other vehicles as well in the drift category. So for the customization, it's obviously going to have to go to the Z34 by a long run, because it just had so many customization parts that you could choose from. But anyway, let's get into the performance parts, and again, we're just gonna whack straight 240 parts on this vehicle. And to start off with, top speed is 167 miles per hour, which is the exact same as the Z34. The horsepower is 1025, which is also that's higher than the Z34, I believe. So 60, 2.6 seconds. Again, doesn't matter, but it's the same as the Z34. Quarter mile, 9.63. I can't remember actually. I think it's the same about. And then braking distance 60 to 0 is 20.18 yards, which is a tiny bit better than the Z34. So overall, the performance parts on this vehicle do seem a tiny bit better than the Z34, but is it going to be better in game? Who knows? But before we do get into that, let me have a look at the drift of at this vehicle's price, and I'll tell you what it is. So this vehicle's price, it comes in at 237,300 crew bucks, which is a lot more expensive. Well, not a lot more, but like 50 grand more expensive than the Z34, and also 33,900 crew credit as well. So this vehicle has less customization, tiny bit better performance wise, and also is a bit more expensive. But the real question is, which one performs better on the track? We'll get into that right now, and I'll see you there in a second with the Z34 to start off with. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the event, and this car is very, very nice looking. I do like the livery I put on as well. But before we actually get into the event, I just want to say that I put hot head and slippery on both the vehicles on the parts, just so if the vehicles do feel a bit similar, I can compare the points instead of the performance. But hopefully it doesn't come down to that, as I just do want to test out both of them and get my final result on the feel of the two vehicles. But yeah, let's get into the Z34. And firstly, this is literally my car that I use all the time for drifting mainly. I do use a Nismo sometimes, but this just feels very, very natural. I'm having no issues so far. And this is also an event that I've rarely actually used. Obviously I used it for the Lamborghini Aventador video, I believe. I just don't like this event that much. I don't know why, I just have a really bad issue with this event. But yeah, sorry if I go quiet, I just like to concentrate a bit when I drift. Oh yeah, that's why I hate this event. There's lampposts just sitting there, and if you hit into a lamppost on this game, then the streak ends. The point is just go away. You don't reach the points that you have to. But so far, this vehicle is obviously what I wanted it to feel like. It's very good at drifting, very natural with it. But yeah, the Nismo definitely going to have a hard time to take away this vehicle from me in taking top spot, because this vehicle, it just feels so nice. It feels so slippery. It's one of the best drift cars in the game. I did mention that in my video for this vehicle. It is still, I say, the best drift vehicle in the game, or if not, maybe top 3 definitely. But yeah, we did smash that. We didn't hit anything. We smashed that. It's just, this vehicle just feels so nice. But yeah, the Nismo will definitely have a hard time coming close to this vehicle. But I'll still give it a try. I'll still give it a try and see how well it is, because it is a very good vehicle still. But yeah, I will be with the Nismo on this exact same track in a second. Okay, we are here now with the Nismo, and look at this thing. It does look a lot more menacing than the 370Z. Maybe it's just the livery and the colour I put it in, but yeah, it does look a lot more menacing. And we've got a challenge as well in this car. We got snow. We've got snow, which is gonna be this is gonna make it 10 times more interesting. Because the snow, I thought at first it doesn't really do much, but it does. In this game, the snow does impact drifting quite a bit. It just makes your car a lot more slippier. But so far, this vehicle is coping with it. It's doing pretty well, because it still feels, this car feels very very stiff. It doesn't feel as slippery as the Z34. It just feels stuck to the ground a lot more, which is not a problem. But yeah, it feels a lot more traction controlled. But I'm liking it, you know. I'm actually liking it. It definitely feels a lot better than the Lamborghini, of course. I will be testing that again, but against another vehicle that I have planned. But yeah, overall, very, very good. Like I said, two of the best drift vehicles I'm using right now, and I definitely still agree with that. Still very, very nice to use, and they're both very cheap as well. This one may be a tiny bit more expensive, but it does feel faster. It does feel a tiny bit faster than the Z34, which is sort of what you want when you want to go around like these long, wide corners. You want to go a bit fast, but yeah, overall this vehicle is very, very nice, and we haven't crashed once again. We're approaching the end. It feels like we're getting less points though than the Z34, but again, I don't want to put points into consideration, because both these vehicles, they were very, very similar, but this one did just feel a tiny bit more traction controlled and stuck to the ground a tiny bit more. So yeah, this is going to be hard to say which one is better, but both these vehicles overall are very good, and I would highly recommend to anyone that is even starting out with drift events. They are very good. They're cheap, and they do the job. You don't need to get your Aventadors, your Koenigsegg's. You don't need to. You literally don't have to get any of that. All you need is a 370Z. Make it a Z34 or a Nismo. That's all you need to succeed in drift events. That's all you need. But the best out of both of them, I'd have to say the Z34, just because the Z34, because the price obviously is cheaper, 50 grand cheaper to be precise. There's a lot more customization when you actually get to see the customization parts, and the performance was also very good. It felt a lot more slippery. That's what I want, especially on certain circuits and certain events. You want to make sure you want to go around the bend not fastly and not overdo it, whereas with the Z34, it's just that perfect mix of getting it right, and it's just a lot more better at drifting, I think, than the Nismo. But the Nismo is still up there. But yeah, the Z34 wins overall with the with this little versus video. Tell me which one you think is the better one down below. I'd love to know. Obviously, I love both of these vehicles, but the Z34 came out on top. So tell me which one you prefer down below, the Nismo or the Z34. I'd love to know. But yeah, this has been it. If you do enjoy these videos, do make sure you do like and subscribe, as I will know that you like these videos, and I will start to do more of them as well, because I do have a few planned. But yeah, that's been me, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.